Okay, so welcome back. So in this part of the tutorial we're going to do the masks, and as I said we're going to do the, keep dropping the miniature, we're going to do the tubes and any bits that are highlighted like glowy blue. We're going to do that bit now. So we're going to start with the mask. So the mask, we need to start with Temple Guard blue. If you can see that, I got some paint on that. Temple Guard blue. Right, so give it a good shake. And for this I would suggest a small brush because you're going to get into some very small parts there. And I would also make sure I water it down as well, because the paint's always a lot easier to move around when it's watered down. So we're literally just going to paint this mask part here and try and get all these into all these intricate parts. So I'll be back with you when I've done that. Okay, so that's the mask done. As you can see, it really stands out now. So the next thing to do, we're actually going to paint the tubes, because we're going to need to give them both a glaze. And the first colour we use now is the edge colour, Baharroth blue. If you want to, you can still use Temple Guard, but I'm trying to show you as many techniques that are in the book as possible. And there's a few different ways it shows you how to paint similar colours. So the Baharroth blue, the edge highlight. I'm going to paint the little tubes on the back there, and the little tubes around his collar in this colour. So again, just like before, I'm going to use a small brush for this. And I'm going to water it down so it moves a little bit better on the model. So those are the tubes on the back painted. Remember, we're going to just do the pipes around his neck, around the shoulders. Like so, it's just that one there. You can see that. The pipes on the inside of his bodysuit are painted in green, so they're already done. But it's just the pipes around his neck. If there's any on the other shoulder, which there isn't, just check that. So that's the first stage. Now you need to wait for both of those colours to dry before you move on. I'll be back with you once they're dried. Okay, so now the blues are dry. Next thing we need to do is a glaze of Guilliman blue. So when you're doing a glaze, obviously a glaze is a lot thicker than a wash. You've got to be a lot more careful where you get it. So I'm actually going to use the detail brush to get this into all the right places, because it kind of stays where you put it. So you're going to want to put it all over the mask, like so. You don't want to use too much glaze, so it stays where you put it. I'll just run a little bit into those recesses. Don't want it to go everywhere though. You need a lot more control over a glaze than you do with a wash. And we're also going to do the tube parts on the back, and the little wiry bit near the front. So that and that. So again, we're going to want to completely let this dry before we move on. And then also later on we'll be doing the same sort of blue on the gum, but we want to paint the gum first, but that'll be the next stage after this. But yeah, so we're up to there now, so we need to let this dry, and we'll be back with you once that's dried to continue. Okay, welcome back. So now the blues have dried. The next thing is to highlight the blues. So we're going to start with the tubes and the little bit of wire. For that we're going to use Edge Highlight Blue Horror. Well, this is going to do a little line using the small detail brush that you've got. Smallest amount of paint imaginable. And just a little line. Down the backs of those tubes. That's focused, and one just along the bottom to make it look a bit like a canister kind of thing. And just a little bit to highlight the wire, like so, just a tiny amount, just to make it really stand out the edges. Okay, so what we need to do with the mask, we need to use Temple Guard blue again. We need to go over the main part of the mask, not the detail parts, just to make sure the blue is nice and bright and that the glaze hasn't made it too dark. Like so. So once the mask's dried, we're going to highlight it, but I'm just going to have to wait for that to dry, so we'll be back for that in a moment. Okay, so the last stage on the mask is to highlight it, and we're going to use Ulthuan grey for that. One nice detail brush for this. And basically we're going to draw a line down the mask to make it like a reflection, and maybe a couple of other lines on it to make it like a reflection. So if you see the mask now, I will show you what I mean in a minute. Okay, and that's basically what I meant. So one line down the middle and across to basically make a star shape on the mask to give it a reflection, and just around the edges on both sides, tiniest bit of Ulthuan grey, and that's it. That's all you need to do for the mask. It makes it look pretty cool. So we're going to repeat this on the other models from the unit, and then I shall see you next time, where we will focus on the weapons, the gun and the knife, and any of the metals basically. We'll get them done next time. But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like some more, and it helps out a lot if you like and subscribe. So thanks for watching again, and I shall see you later.